I need to know if our listeners want to see us on a billboard. That's all I'm wondering. That's all I'm wondering. Okay. Not I-20. No one's wanting
which billboard?
That's what I'm saying. What's the location? And do you have one?
We have billboards and we have great locations for the two of you. I can see you. We can work a deal. I'll talk to you afterwards.
So
thank you.
So when this episode goes live, y'all need to post on our Facebook where you would like to see it.
Welcome to the Augusta podcast studio.
Yep. And yours truly, we are Drop the Disc podcast. This is Chris Napples.
My name's David Bash.
Yep. And I'm super excited about this. Right now, I'm crying. You can't tell.
He's crying. He's crying out of his whole body, actually.
Pores are coming out. But we have an awesome guest today.
Yes, sir.
I'm really excited.
And could we have you?
Pores coming out or sweat coming out of the pores?
It's both.
It's both.
So let's have you go ahead and introduce yourself.
By the end of this episode, there'll be more than just sweat coming out of the pores.
I don't know what he's trying to say now. This might be a pause moment. I'm not really sure.
Our guest can't even talk.
We're here today with...
I'm Derek May. I'm the president of a company called Azalea Investments. Most of our properties are in Augusta, Georgia. We have the Marriott Hotel downtown, the Augusta Riverfront Center office building where the Marsh Museum is located, the AU building, 699 Broad Street that we're sitting in right now.
Yes, sir.
Yep.
We have another building on the 900 block of Broad and some properties around town and some office buildings in some other cities. And we also have a billboard company. So we have an outdoor advertising company with billboards all around Augusta.
If you had to guess how many buildings you are the president over, what would that number be? just a guess off the top of your head.
9.
That was less dramatic than I thought it was.
All in Augusta? Or
No, we have several buildings here in Augusta, but we also have an office building in Guilford, Connecticut.
Holy crap.
wow.
We have
That's super random.
not as random as you think.
Oh.
Random, but
I bet there's
Googling.
there's a tax reason for that.
No. Yes.
Is that a pause moment?
No.
Okay.
Keep going.
Okay.
We don't have to stop. Okay. Pause is my way out.
Yes, sir.
No, we have a building in Anchorage, Alaska, and we have a building in Jacksonville, Florida.
Okay. And so the building we're in right now is what size is it?
Well, the building with all of its we have a building called the Annex, which is next to it. When it's all in, it's just under 200,000 square feet.
That's crazy.
Wow.
Is this the biggest building you guys operate?
It is. It is the biggest. This is still the largest office building.
Holy
in
crap.
Augusta.
Wow.
And so what's the range? Like, what's the smallest? What's the biggest? Like, what's the range?
Smallest building?
Yeah.
We have about a 3,000 square foot in Jacksonville. It's a little condo office.
Wow.
An office. And then, so we have that, which would hold one tenant, up to a building like this that holds, 50, 100 tenants.
That's incredible.
That is awesome.
That is incredible. So speaking of incredible, before we go on to any more of this, we have drinks sitting in front of us.
Derek has picked it up probably 5 times, and we've told him 5 times not to drink it yet.
Right. I think it's time to drink it.
But before we do...
So we need an introduction.
We do.
With Mr. All Equal Parts, Zach McCabe.
Yes, he is here, and he's going to tell us what we're about to drink.
Hey everybody, this is Zach with All Equal Parts. You guys can go ahead and start drinking.
You sound like an infomercial.
Okay, true.
Cheers.
Cheers.
It's been sitting on ice for a while. This is called Bless Your Heart. This is going to be on the menu at the Pineapple Ink Tavern when it opens on March 4th. It's kind of like a old fashioned with bourbon in it, a little bit of peach, and
I taste the peach immediately.
some baking spices and a little bit of chamomile.
Am I going to get tired?
No, just a touch of chamomile.
Got it.
What is that?
What is what?
The last word.
Chamomile. It's a tea.
Can you please tell everybody, because I don't know. There's got to be someone out there that doesn't know.
David has it. There you go. It's a tea.
It's a tea.
Why not know?
Right, exactly. That's why I want to know.
It's a couple of drops of chamomile bitters.
Okay, got it.
Gotcha.
And we're going to be touching in with you for some more drinks later on. Thank you so much for being here. Again, it's at all equal parts.
Very, very tasty.
Very good.
And we have the Derek seal of approval.
And this can be found at Pineapple Ink Tavern,
the new Pineapple Ink Tavern,
which opens
soon
in March, the first
Soon,
March.
post this.
Do you know the restaurant we're speaking of?
I do.
I'm sure you're excited.
Can't wait for it to open.
There you go.
We'll have to meet you out there. So let's take one more moment. We wouldn't be sitting up in this office with this equipment, drinking these drinks without
True.
the support of Nancy Powell
Yes.
of Concierge Real Estate Team.
Nice. That was the first time you talked about it. It's
That's
the one
the
that
first time I've done it.
got it down.
Yeah.
I'm glad you have
Yeah.
you've got it down now.
She helped me buy a house. She does tips every week for our listeners. She is here right now with her second tip for selling a house in 2020, which I bet Derek would probably have some pretty good input to that.
Yeah.
But yeah, we're gonna put you on pause right
As a
now because it's
realtor,
Nancy's turn.
One of the
Right. So,
topics
Nancy,
with
please take it
sellers
away.
Is for sale by owner versus homes sold by real estate companies, and it's just a given. But there are proven facts and data that show that if you go with a realtor, you can realize 6%, maybe more, of value and sell in your home than if you were to sell it yourself. Also, they can provide marketing and exposure for your home that an everyday person can't necessarily do. And they have numerous avenues to market your home and get it out there so it can get sold quickly. So I would suggest that even if you are wanting to try it on your own, talk to a realtor and see what the difference is and what they can offer you. That way you can be educated before you sell your house and see which is going to best suit you, and at least have something to compare that to.
Thank you so much, Nancy. And if anybody would like to contact Nancy for any more information, please shoot her an email. She is verified with us. Nancy at opentoclose.team.
Yes, that is her email.
What is it again?
Nancy at opentoclose.team.
Fantastic. All right. And now let's get back to our guest.
Yes.
So Derek, we were just talking about all the buildings that you rule over, right? So let's take a step back. You were not born as a ruler of buildings. So we understand that you went to Augusta College.
I did.
So tell us a little bit about your time there.
Had a great time at college.
Don't tell us too much.
Yeah, well, that's a secret, but I'll tell you this parts I can tell you.
Thank you.
First year, my college, I actually went to high school in Statesboro, Georgia.
Okay.
And then
I did not know that.
I did, and I ended up going to Anderson College my first year of school. And that is in Anderson, South Carolina.
The blank look on my face, I'm glad you read that and told us that.
You don't know where Anderson is?
No, I don't.
Oh man. It's not that.
Okay.
I know it's close.
But I went there the first year because they had a table tennis program, and that's why I went to Anderson College. The president of the school's son was a table tennis player, and so the president started a program there. The second year, my father, Pete May, who's from Augusta, decided we wanted to start a program at Augusta College. So he met with the student activities director there, the athletic director, Clint Bryant. Actually, Clint was a basketball coach at the time, I think. But and we started a table tennis program at Augusta College, and that's why I ended up going there.
Wow. Okay. And you didn't just compete at table tennis. There's a little more to that, right? How far did you take it?
Well, I went a long ways with it, but just to back up a little bit.
Back up?
My
Okay.
dad, Pete, who's from Augusta, went to Richmond Academy and grew up here, was the Georgia table tennis champion back in the 60s and 70s. Played as a kid at the Boys Club downtown and at the USO, which was downtown, and learned to play here in town, and then got good and won the state championship 7 times. He got me in.
Wow.
He was okay.
Wow. No big deal.
Right.
Jeez.
You hear how casually he says that?
Yeah.
He is 7. We went for 8, but we're good with
That's
7.
the record. No one's won it more than
Really?
he did. Yeah.
Wow.
Really?
Not even you.
Not even.
We're not there yet.
That's true. We're not there yet.
Oh, okay. Pause. So he got me into it as a kid, and then I took it a little farther. We started a program at Augusta College. We recruited players from all over the country and all over the world. And Augusta, in that time, this was the late 80s or early 90s, was the hotbed of U.S. table tennis, believe it or not. We had Olympians coming in from other countries that went to college at Augusta and to train here. We trained.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
We played at Chafee Park Gym, which is next to where the Croc Center is today.
And when was this approximately?
This would have been in 89, 90, 91, 92.
Got it.
Which dates me, which tells you how old I am.
I didn't hear that.
We're not doing the math here.
That's not what we're here for.
Okay.
There's not enough time for that.
We're past that.
Yeah, we are.
I'm not a millennial.
But you give a crap, and that's important.
Yes.
So that was, so we had this great, we lived at a house. We all lived in a house together on Crawford Avenue.
Wow.
Okay.
I got a question.
Yeah.
How awesome were y'all's parties?
Have you heard about the parties?
Yes, the Pong parties.
I bet.
Of my experience that I refuse to talk about.
All right. The question
Said
had to
thank
be
you
asked.
for the question.
Okay, that's good.
But it was for a good cause.
It was for a good cause.
But we there was guys from multiple countries. We lived in actually 2 houses right next to each other on Crawford Avenue. And we practiced every day and traveled all over the country and represented Augusta and Augusta College won 5 national collegiate championships in a row. So that was pretty cool because the championships were at Princeton University. And so we would literally, I had a pickup truck. We had a camper top on the back.
No way.
Guys were loading up in the back. We had a mattress in the bed of the truck.
Did you have
it? We rotated.
Did you have any exchange students?
Exchange
Like from foreign.
We had 2, and at different times. We had 2 that came up here from Peru. We had 2 from Pakistan. We had a player from India.
Wow.
We had a coach from China.
Holy crap.
He was in the 70s. He was number 3 in China. This guy was incredible.
Holy moly.
And,
So do you know if 5 times in a row is a record
for
the national championship?
At least for Augusta.
I don't know for sure.
We'll have to look into
At least
that.
for Augusta College.
Oh, for Augusta College for sure.
Because it turned into ASU. And then it turned into GRU, and then it turned into Augusta University.
Thanks, Chris.
Which, by the way, are you getting that diploma?
When you're ready, we'll go see. I've been told.
We'll go see Brooks.
Yeah.
I'll be with you. Don't worry.
I think it was Clint Bryant, the athletic director, that said that he knows you and he said that he could have this done.
He knows me. Yes. More about how he knows me.
We need
next
to do
week.
We need to do a video about this, like you getting your diploma.
Oh, that'd be great.
So Derek, I'm gonna
cap and gown ceremony.
Right.
Ooh.
I'm gonna try to keep this on topic, but I don't think it's gonna happen. So you won the national championship 5 times. Well, you didn't win, but the team won, and you helped start that team, right?
Yes, I think I was. It's a little fuzzy to me now, but I
That's
think
fair.
I was on 3 of them, and,
Got it.
And then I had moved on, and then other guys kept it going.
That's incredible. So what did you do after that? What was the next step?
Well, I started working while I was in college. I also started working as an intern. I was a computer science major. And so I was a part-time computer programmer at Morris Communications.
Oh.
And so I was doing that while I was going to school. And like a lot of, students at Augusta College, it's about getting a job. That's why you go to Augusta College. It's not about academia. It's about making yourself, capable of earning money.
Highly employable.
That's what it's all about. And so I was working while I was going to school. And then when I got done with school, I got offered a job at Morris. So I started working full time at Morris. But at the same time, I'd gotten really serious about table tennis. And this was in the early 90s. And I was trying to make the 96 Olympics. That was my goal. So I was
of table tennis.
Table tennis.
In Atlanta.
The Olympics.
Yeah.
It's not
The Olympics of table tennis.
No. Like
It's the regular Olympics.
The
Right.
Olympics.
Table tennis event.
Playing table tennis. So 96, you tried out for the Olympics.
I was very fortunate to work for a company that allowed me to go for it. So what we had done is it recruited players.
Can I interject? I have a real. So how does the conversation go when you're talking to your boss and you're trying to get the time off to go try out for the Olympics? How does that? I'm just curious. That's like a underrated thing. I feel like. How does that go? It's like, hey, I need next week off.
he didn't tell his boss. He didn't. He played sick.
Well,
I can see it in his face.
yeah, it's actually really, really special.
Am I getting okay?
So I had the support of my company, and you got to go back in time and you think about the 90s. The Olympics were coming to Atlanta. We were all fired up about that.
That's true.
That was huge for the whole state.
Yeah.
And so, Billy Morris, I worked at the company. He was aware that I was a table tennis player.
And that was the founder of Morris. Is that correct?
The chairman, the owner, the CEO, and
Got it.
the founder. And he was aware of it, and we had a conversation, and he said, I can't make you a table tennis player, but I can give you time off when you need it to train. And we were all
Wow.
And it was just and so I had that support, and that created a tremendous amount of feeling of loyalty.
Yeah, that's incredible.
That's awesome.
Because they worked with me. They allowed me to chase the dream, knowing that it wasn't going to be forever. That was not going to be my income.
They were like, when you're done, just come back and be our president.
Well,
There was a step. No,
There's things that happen that we will talk about.
when
Okay.
you're done, you still have a job when you come
Yeah,
back.
that's incredible. No, that's seriously incredible.
So it was, and I, after graduating, I actually took 6 months. It wasn't just a week. I was taking 6 months a year, and I was living in Sweden, and I was playing in a professional
Wow.
in Sweden, and that's where.
Holy
the
crap.
action is. So in table tennis, the best players they live in Asia and in Europe, and in Europe they have all these professional leagues all over the place in every country. And at the time, the best players in the world actually lived in Sweden. So I went and lived in Stockholm and played on a team, a traveling team. You can think of it like minor league baseball.
Yeah.
Team. We'd go from town to town.
What was your team name?
It was Angby was the name of the team.
What does that mean?
Angby's the name of the area.
Okay.
I don't think we were like the Angry Crickets or anything. I don't recall.
I've never been
We
introduced
didn't have a
to
mascot.
Okay. That was the biggest question.
Got
Angry
it.
Sport Club.
the Angby Americans.
I was the only American on the team.
Oh, okay.
So, but it was a blast, and I got to play over there with the best players in the world. Actually, another guy who played in the same club I did was #1 in the world.
Wow.
Guy, I was like a AAA level player, and he was, the best player in the world. And so to get to do that, for me, was kind of a fantasy.
That's crazy. Did you ever beat him? Did you ever skirmish him and beat him?
I played with him. I could play okay with him, but he was much better than me.
That's fair.
That was one of those things where I knew that I needed to keep my day job at Mars.
There's no shame in not beating the best person in the world. There's no shame in that at all.
But so it was an amazing period of time. I ended up playing on the U.S. national team for several years. Got to travel all around the world and represent the country. And then in '95, I made the Pan American Game team.
Yeah.
And the Pan American Games are like the Olympics of the Western Hemisphere. And the Pan American Games were in Argentina that year. And then the U.S. men's team, won a silver medal there. So
Wow.
losing to Brazil in the finals, and Brazil's amazing.
Yeah.
And then I tried out for the Olympic team, didn't quite make it, and had begun dating my future wife at the time, and she didn't want to live with my parents, so I had to get a new job.
Hey,
Oh,
she
what a
told you
bu-
what's up. Did she give you an ultimatum?
We don't have to ask that.
We didn't have. I thought it was a bit selfish.
Is this closet not enough for you? So table tennis aside, you come back, first of all, you have a silver medal and 5 collegiate national championships. So like, I feel like you kind of beat your dad. I feel like you kind of did. I'm not 100% sure on that, but I feel like you did.
It's an accomplishment for sure.
Right. So, and it was a great time. And you're still involved in table tennis, right?
I am. I started back, kids and job and career kind of get in the way of your table tennis.
I can imagine.
So I got out of the sport for a long time.
Got it.
Picked it back up again a couple of years ago, and had this goal to. I feel like I'm.
Go for it.
Go for it, man.
I had this goal to win the over 50 national championship. So I started back playing at 48. Started training. Had to get back in shape. Had to lose some weight. Really. Get my game back. It takes time.
You started training for the over 50 at 48.
Yeah.
That's
goals.
That's work ethic.
Yeah.
You're like, I'm going to work at least 3 straight years.
You had a plan.
Well, it worked out. I ended up winning the national championships at 50.
There it is.
And won the over 50s. And then last year went back and tried to defend, and I lost in the finals to the guy I beat the prior year. So he and I are arch rivals. So
wow.
My goal is to go get it this year.
And
that's incredible.
Where are those?
Vegas.
Oh man.
Do you get to take one podcast with you when you go? Do you get to take a team?
Ooh.
A fan club?
Carry all this stuff.
That's fine.
And we can
I'll carry it all.
We can broadcast it.
Right. We'll broadcast it live.
It's recorded, and then we edit, and then it's broadcasted.
It'd actually probably be pretty intimidating to the opponent.
Oh, that's true.
We're welcome in it. We won't even charge you, honestly.
You could even have your own personal cocktail guy.
Yeah. So that
would be Vegas right there.
Cocktails, your table tennis, you got to move.
True.
Post game.
In between.
Post game
only.
Okay.
Mixologist guy with you.
There we go.
At all time.
There we go.
Probably a lot of chamomile.
But you first have to take us and then take him.
It's contingent.
Anyways.
Thanks, Chris.
Moving on.
Chris is always advocating for us. Real quick, there's so much more to talk about. Clearly, we didn't just bring you here to talk about table tennis, but you just have such a full history of table tennis that we have to flush it out. So you left table tennis. You decided to commit to your relationship and your job. Give us a little breakdown of what happened next.
Well, coming back out of that and focusing in on the career, then you start having the young family. And my wife and I got married in 1998. And
he almost said 08.
I almost said 08. And then, working at Morris, I was a computer guy at a media company, and I felt like, wow, that feels kind of like a dead end. Like what does that lead to?
Yeah.
And so I was kind of at a career, you start thinking about your future and what you're going to do. And I was kind of at a crossroads and got the chance to move out of technology and into the media side of the business. So I worked at the Augusta Chronicle in circulation, and then worked in advertising sales, and then they moved me out to Lubbock, Texas. So the kids, and wife.
I've heard about Lubbock, Texas. I've heard that there's not a lot in Lubbock, Texas.
That is wrong.
Is that wrong?
That is wrong. Lubbock's a great town.
Look, he's dropping the disc.
Shout out to Lubbock.
Yeah. Pick up Athens.
Okay.
Put it on the moon. Okay,
I'm interested.
It's college town.
I'm interested.
Right.
You've got it's the desert, so you got dust storms and tumbleweeds everywhere.
Of course.
But Texas Tech is there, so they got.
Oh yeah, true.
Bobby
Knight.
You stole it from him.
Y'all stole it from me.
Yeah, stole it from Zach.
Credit Zach.
Thanks, Zach.
That's gonna sound super edited in post because it was.
Yeah.
Bobby Knight was the basketball coach, so he was great. They were winning all these games. And Lubbock's got, because of college town, concerts and great family place to live, and And it was a lot to do. It never rained. The sun was out every day.
How long were you out there?
We were there for 1 year.
1 year.
Just 1 year.
And then after that, what happened?
Then we moved to Athens.
Okay.
And I was the director of sales and marketing.
You like college towns, don't you?
Well, we had newspapers in college towns.
Yeah.
It worked out that way.
Fair enough.
So we moved to Athens. I was the director of sales and marketing there at the newspaper, and that was a blast. I was there for a couple of years.
And this is all still a branch of Morris.
All Morris.
So Morris is not just Augusta.
Morris is all over the world.
Okay.
And at
Wow.
the time, newspapers all over the country and magazines everywhere. And so, when you're working for a great company is when you get a lot of opportunity with that company to grow. So,
True.
And so, so family moved to Athens. We lived there for a couple of years. Then we got sent to St. Augustine.
Okay.
And
That's crazy.
And I wore my red and black right into Gator country.
Oh, wow.
And then Tim Tebow
Yep.
the Gators, and then they whipped Georgia.
Yeah.
All these years.
Bad timing.
I miss those years.
But St. Augustine is an incredible town.
Yeah.
I was the publisher of the newspaper there, the St. Augustine Record. And man, what a great city on the beach, great schools. Our kids were getting older at the time, and our daughter graduated high school at St. Augustine High, and then she came to Augusta GRU.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
So we ended up moving from St. Augustine after she graduated high school. I got moved back here to the corporate office at Morris.
That was a mouthful.
That was a lot.
That's a long story. Okay, we are going to continue with this story, but before we do that, we have to talk about some people that give us some things.
We've got a lot of people to talk about.
We've got a lot of people, and we need Mr. All Equal Parts to begin the second cocktail. Are there any vegans in this room?
No.
Okay, there's honey in this. That's
Okay.
Is that blood?
So Zach, you have prepared, very silently, by the way, a second drink for us. Can you give us a little preview?
Yeah, this is called the New England Sour. So this is going to be like a sort of a riff on a New York Sour, which is what the float is about there, guys. You see the red wine float on top?
I do.
Yes.
It's like a fruity Malbec float, but it's going to be a whiskey sour with some honey, and I infused some bourbon, your favorite bourbon, Chris, the Evan Williams White Label, with bonded with some black tea. So
Okay.
New England Sour, folks.
Have you been drinking a lot of tea recently, Zach?
I actually made this drink like 4 years ago. The first time out of the series of 3 years in a row, the Patriots made the Super Bowl. I made this drink that year. So this is dating back a while.
Okay. Thank you for that.
Thank you for that. That reminder.
It looks awesome.
It looks beautiful.
Delicious.
So yeah,
Cheers.
Cheers. I'm going to be careful of the sound equipment. Thank you, Chris.
It tastes very good.
Oh, wow. That's wine. Yeah. Holy crap.
That is incredible.
I've never had a cocktail that had wine.
I've never had a cocktail with wine.
Me neither. That's incredible. You need to save that business card, sir.
Well, at risk of just talking about the wine in this drink the whole time, the next thing we need to do is talk about another company that makes drinks, and that's Savannah River Brewery. Well done.
Yep. We tried that. And we
Right.
did it. Savannah River Brewery. Have you ever had their beer?
I have.
Yes. Their beer is very good. Very good.
For lack of better words, very good.
They just had their 3rd-year anniversary. I feel like this is not hitting my mouth right. All right. They just had their 3rd-year anniversary. Really? And we just want to shout them out real quick. They power our drinks, even though All Equal Parts is here with us right now. They are here, and
They're here in spirit.
Yes, they are here in spirit. But yes, take it away.
They're here in spirit while we drink spirits. Okay. Coming up next, we want to highlight the Little Guide of Augusta real quick. The Little Guide of Augusta is a new partner of ours. We are super excited. We are actually going to be featured in the little guide of Augusta. I think we're going to be in the entertainment section, but
Of course.
don't hold me to that. We are very entertaining.
We are.
There's not a podcast section yet, but watch out. We'll help change that.
Yep, we will. We'll be in that little red book that you can get for free at any of the restaurants.
It's free at any of the places. I think they distribute 30,000 a year, which Derek, you're in print media, or you used to be in print media. That sounds like a lot. Is it a lot?
Yeah, it's a lot. It's a lot.
It is a
Of
lot.
anything, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Check up 30,000 of anything.
Wise words. All right.
Yes.
And on that topic,
I do have someone to shout out though.
shout them out.
Or do you have anybody to shout out?
Should I?
I don't know.
Crap.
Phil Scroggs. Okay. He is
Okay.
a guy that is from Augusta. He does, and I don't know how to pronounce it. I call it GIFs.
Yeah, I think you're supposed to say GIF, but I'm with you.
Right? If it was GIF, it'd be spelled JIF.
Honestly,
All that, but it's still
Like the peanut butter.
I say GIF, but I'm pretty sure it's GIF, but go ahead.
GIFs.
GIFs.
Shout out to him real quick. He
gifted us some gifts.
He did. He gave he created 2 gifts for us to put on social media. One is #DropTheDisc, and the other one is our logo. And it moves, and you can put it on your Facebook social media posts. You can put it on your Snapchat and your Instagram stories, and and anybody can use them. And so I thought that was really cool. It puts us on the movement of technology map.
Yes.
And
we're on the map.
But we're not the only ones dropping the disc.
Yep.
So this is
shout out.
This
Thank
can
you.
be for anybody else that is #dropping the disc. Which
Even
I
in
think is
Anderson.
really cool. Even or in that town in Texas.
I knew Lubbock.
Love it.
Yeah, you drop the disc everywhere, Derek. Anywhere I say anything even close to negative about, you're like, well, hold on there.
Yeah. So
Those are nice people. And I like that. I appreciate that.
if anybody is wanting a GIF, I'm going to call it GIF.
Do what you want.
If anybody wants a GIF for their company and whatnot, you can contact him at phillustrations.com or phil@phillustrations.com. Like I said, he's not in Augusta anymore. He's from Augusta, loves Augusta. In fact, any GIF Augusta based, like Masters based, all that, he did that. So any Augusta-based GIF that you can find on social media, he has done it from California. I think that's really cool. It's really cool that he did that for us.
Yep.
That support downtown Augusta GIF that you can put on any social media post. He did that. I think it's incredible, and we're a part of that now, and we're moving on, and we're getting his information out there.
You can tell that Chris is the social media guy.
I am.
He is all about this GIF.
I'm connected to y'all. Anyways, moving on.
Right on back to Mr. Derek May. So Derek, we've kind of talked about how incredible of a person you are or have been in your past.
He's incredible.
Incredible. And right now what we're going to do is we're going to get a little bit nosy, I think, and we're going to talk about what you're doing now. So now you are a person that is at the helm of 9 major real estate projects, a lot of which are in Augusta at the very least. And really, I'm going to ask you an open-ended question because I know there's probably stuff going on you don't want to talk about. But what's some stuff going on in Augusta that you're a part of that you're really excited about right now?
I mean, it's easy. I mean, downtown Augusta's on fire. And for me to be, I have a media background.
Yes, sir.
To be in this real estate sort of ecosystem,
Yep.
with all these folks that are commercial realtors and construction folks and people that are out there making it happen, like the folks at Pineapple Inc.
You're right. Yeah.
It's what a great lucky time to be in the middle of all this. So, we have what I'm excited about is, I think for all of us that are in the business, I mean, if you've been in downtown and invested in downtown, your payback's happening now.
That's true.
Yeah.
So a lot of buildings, they've been out there. We all talk about what's, the potential of Augusta.
Yeah.
I see that happening. And in this building alone, I mean, this building 699 Broad Street. We call it the AU building.
Right.
We call it Studio One, but that's fine.
Or Augusta Podcast Studio.
It's a great building. This building's from 1967. It was built.
Yeah.
Georgia Railroad Bank, and then banks bought banks and changed over time.
I remember Wachovia and I believe Wells Fargo. And then it was AU and First Union before that. So that dates me.
Yeah, this
Okay.
building has been around a long time, and it's a part of the historic fabric of the town.
Yeah.
And what happens is a lot of banks in buildings like these moved out their branches, and this building was mostly empty just a couple of years ago. And now what we've had with AU's expansion, so AU has taken on more space, and we've had several other tenants come in here. There's a guy, Vision Wireless is in this building, a guy named Kevin Steffes. It's a very successful business on the 15th floor. And he's just doing great. And we've got businesses in here that are growing, and this building is filling up. And so what you got here is a building with a bunch of tenants, with a bunch of employees. And so you got a city here.
Lots of jobs.
And so it's exciting to be a part of that. I'm picking on this building, but it's the same thing happening at the Riverfront Center. But down here right now, particularly with this building, kind of having a renaissance.
Yeah.
And I didn't mention the folks from Edgar's from
There it is. Yeah.
It's a part of the Goodwill Industries of Middle Georgia.
Yeah.
Helms College, and they have Edgar's Hospitality Group. You guys know they have Edgar's restaurant out in
Edgar's Grill.
Yep, Edgar's Grill. And they took over the management of the Pinnacle Club, which is on the 17th floor here just last year.
Yeah.
And they have reimagined it. They got big screen TVs, and they've made this thing. It's kept a lot of its character, but it's modern and relevant. And now what we have coming is on the third floor.
I was going to be getting into that. Yep.
So when we're talking about what I'm excited about is within the next couple of months.
Let's talk about it.
Talk about it.
Yeah.
Tell us.
Third floor.
What's up?
Floor.
On this building.
Yep. Edgar's above Broad. So it's.
And this isn't some kind of membership-based, closed.
Public. This is public.
This is a public.
It's open to the public. It's meant to connect the town to the building. They bring people in.
Yep.
It's a huge terrace, like 2,000 square feet.
Huge.
They're big enough for an Airstream, right?
Big enough for an Airstream. Later on this month, there's going to be an Airstream crane lift, and I saw it on Facebook last week. They were practicing the bar. It's an Airstream. Those silver RVs.
Yeah.
We would like to be there when you airlift or when you lift this in. Can we make this happen? Well, there we go. I want to be standing where you're standing.
Yeah, it's amazing. That doesn't happen all the time.
No.
Yeah.
Airstreams lifted onto.
Yeah. it doesn't happen in Augusta all the time.
No.
And this is the creative genius of the guys at Edgar's.
Okay.
They thought all this stuff up. I mean, we're in the space business, so we're just lucky to have partners
Right.
with them.
Yeah.
But these guys, it's going to be an indoor-outdoor bar, restaurant, tapas, food, craft cocktails.
And we're talking about the terrace is the third floor.
And that's the rooftop bar.
Also the entire third floor.
Yeah.
Yes, inside. So that
wow.
And an indoor restaurant bar. And so in the morning, they're going to serve, it'll be a breakfast place. So
Wow.
I thought you were going to say breakfast cocktails, honestly.
Why not? Why not?
For those businesses that don't mind that, but
Get Zach behind the bar. Give me an egg cocktail.
they'll have, coffee shop in the morning, food. They'll have lunch. They'll have, evening stuff going on, live music.
And it's right across the street from the Miller, essentially, right? So you look down, you see the Arts District, which I think is really cool because you're kind of inventing the Arts District, or you're kind of bringing people to the Arts District.
You're starting the bar scene of the Arts District,
right?
Which gets people down there.
Yeah, it's something that it allows you to come over here, go down to the Miller, watch a show, come back afterwards.
Yeah.
And maybe they'll
Pre-game.
You're at pre-game, post-game,
whatever.
Yeah.
And there's another project that you may not be able to talk about, and if you can't, then you just say that. But the Morris Museum of Art, it's also moving very close to where we are right now, right?
Well, there's a lot of work to be done, and I really can't speak to it specifically.
Okay.
Right now, the Morris Museum's in the Riverfront Center.
Yes, sir.
Building
By the
Correct.
Chamber of Commerce.
Yep.
Between the Marriott and the Cyber Center.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
And it's a beautiful spot. The museum's
It
beautiful
is.
if you haven't been in it. But the plan and the vision is to move it into what used to be the CNS Bank,
Right.
or Nations Bank building.
In the future.
The giant white column marble building.
like a museum.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah.
It does.
Or bank.
So when you have the Augusta Museum of History right over there, then
Yeah.
usually the Morris Museum there.
Right.
You got the Miller and the
Imperial.
right there. You got a really nice arts district. So
Yeah.
this end of downtown, it's not all happening just down near the Cyber Center. That's fantastic. There's a lot of stuff happening on this end of downtown.
You're revitalizing this area.
Yeah.
You are. I mean, that's what's going on, which is incredible. You got
fun.
the Upper Broad, which Upper Broad area.
Was that 10th to 13th?
Yeah,
Is that?
you've got that's set in stone. I mean, that is the restaurants. You got bars, whatnot. Let's get people walking. Keep walking.
Yeah.
Keep walking down to the third floor rooftop bar.
Yeah, that's right. And it's, this downtown, and the more you have, and you think about other restaurants, Pineapple,
Yep.
Inc., Taco Cat.
Yep.
Taco Cat.
Coming.
Yep.
Taco Cat's a palindrome. I'm a palindrome expert.
Yep. There you go. All right.
We'll take that offline. But I know lots of palindromes.
Tell me one.
My wife-
Tell me one.
Off the top of your head. Taco Cat.
Go hang a salami. I'm a lasagna hog. Okay.
Okay.
Palindrome.
All right. I
you
will
for
say,
real?
in the spirit of the dunk contest, in the spirit of the NBA dunk contest that we just missed, that was a 50 out of 50 palindrome.
That was incredible.
That was incredible.
I was expecting like a one
Race car.
Yeah.
How about this one? A man, a plan, a canal, Panama.
Are you for real?
Yeah. That's a palindrome.
Before I write all these down,
Everybody pause this, rewind it,
write these down.
listen to it again, and then rewind it again, and then write it down again, and then figure it out. Because
Then figure it out.
you'd figure it out before us.
This is awesome. Okay, so you're an expert in
That might be the
Table
name.
tennis.
That might be the name of this episode.
Palindrome.
Palindrome man.
palindrome man.
Or if our title could be a palindrome.
He wins a national championship, we reduce him to palindrome man.
So back to Taco Cat.
Back
There
to
we go,
Taco
there we go.
Cat.
We're back this area.
Apologies.
The more places, the more cool places
Yeah.
there are to go here, the more this becomes a destination that
Yep.
brings in people from other,
Absolutely.
and that's where we're heading.
So from that, you've kind of been going around this a little bit, but from the perspective of someone like yourself who is in, I would say we're not on the ground floor right now, but on the ground floor of the growth downtown, describe to the people like us that don't own buildings, that don't see this every day, describe to us what's going on.
Well, first off, I don't own the building,
Of course.
Right.
but I mean, what we see is activity. We see a lot of interest. We have people now coming and calling, and we work with Blanchard and Calhoun in this building, and another company, Batts and Cook, in the Riverfront Center building, and these businesses out here are looking for places to expand in Augusta. So I know it's not just us; it's all the spaces in downtown Augusta. And there's so many projects going on that I'm aware of that it's just happening.
That's awesome.
It must be cool to know all this stuff and to know that like 95% of people don't know this stuff, and just to see it happen around you, that must be cool. Is that cool?
It is. It is cool. I mean, what's so fun is to be talking to all of the folks that I try to meet and introduce
Yeah.
myself
Yeah.
and get to know and make friends with people that are making it happen down here. And everybody's telling a good story right now.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So I want to ask you a fun question, and if you don't want to answer it, then don't answer it. But I want to ask you a fun question. If you could put any building downtown, what would you do? What would you put downtown? Where would you put it? What would it be?
Good question.
Ooh.
Well, we need housing. Okay. So, no doubt in my mind, I mean, with hotels, we had 2 new hotels come up in the immediate downtown area. And of course, we got the Marriott Hotel downtown.
Yeah.
And some other hotels. I'm sure we'll have more hotels over time, but right now we all know. I mean, in office buildings, we got a lot of office space downtown.
Yeah.
We need more people living downtown. So it's no doubt that I'm picking another, and some folks stepping out there and building apartment buildings downtown.
Got it.
Right now.
Got it.
There's still a shortage. And we need, if you want to have things like a Trader Joe's downtown, you want to have these kinds of things, you got to have more people living here.
Right.
And so that's really, no doubt, I don't know exactly where, but I would continue to put apartment buildings and condos and things like that.
I would love to see more apartment buildings.
Right.
For real.
Especially anything like what they wanted to do with the depot with the mixed housing.
Yeah.
I think that's an incredible idea.
They've got it going on down by Laney Walker.
Yeah.
They've got the Beacon Station. They have this new facility called the James coming on that's going to have the same, 15 million, multi-million, place. We need that near Broad, though.
Yeah.
We need something down here.
Yeah, they're even developing Central and Montesano right now.
Yep.
Close.
Yeah.
It's close.
It's close.
So, Chris, I feel like I'm taking a lot of this conversation.
Well, this is up your alley. I'm down.
I guess. All right.
I'm loving to be a part of it. Yeah. I get more of the biking guys that come out here.
That's true. You're more athletic.
Disc golf guys. I'm all into those, and you're kind of on the side. So I'll let you have this one.
I can't talk about anything athletic right now. Who wants to talk about soccer? Okay, so before we go any further, we do have Zach here, and we do have a third drink lined up. And I think we should go ahead and get that ready. Is that cool, Zach?
Yeah, sure.
I'm excited. Thank you. Okay.
The disc is dropped.
Boom.
That was good timing because we...
That was not good timing.
That's going to be the intro. Just that sentence. All right. So so you guys don't know this, but we are back. And we are back with a third and final drink from Mr. All Equal Parts, Zach McCabe himself. And we are going to have him explain this drink.
Thank you, David.
My pleasure.
So this drink's called Hell's Last Issue.
Great.
It's a kind of like a Manhattan, sort of a Brooklyn riff, using blended scotch and some drambuie, a little vermouth.
I'm glad that you saved the scotch for last. Thank you for that.
Well, I understand that your guest today is a scotch fan. Is that accurate? Okay. Yes. I was given correct information. You can't always trust these guys. But so it's sort of like the Scotch Manhattan, a little bit topped off with a little bit of a grapefruit twist. Enjoy.
Thank you, Zach.
Well, thank you, Zach.
So a Manhattan is usually red, correct? It is. And
he said yes. He nodded.
He nodded. So
this
Zach,
drink is not red.
This is not red.
It is not. So it's a vermouth drink. That's why I said Manhattan. But this is actually using Blanc vermouth, which is a white vermouth or clear, but it also is quite sweet. So it's pretty different than what you might think of when you look at a clear vermouth. It's not going to be like a dry vermouth you'd put in a martini. So the color comes from the vermouth in the.
And can we find this on your page?
You can.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Zach, thank you so much. Everything that you tell us about drinking is incredibly enlightening, and you are changing our lives for the better and making us better people.
And there are all equal parts in this drink.
That's probably true. But either way, all equal parts made this drink. So let's cheers with the last drink.
Yep.
Cheers.
I'm scared to hold this over the laptop. I'm going to air cheers this one.
Yep.
I'm going to sip this in the microphone aggressively.
Wow, that's incredible. And David just added some ASMR. Ooh. So real quick, I will say this. I don't know if it has anything to do with it, but Blanky Kong is called Blanky Kong, which is a tropical IPA at Savannah River
Brewing Company.
It's called Blanky Kong because the Blanc hops that they use. Does that have anything to do with Blanc vermouth?
No.
Okay.
Thank you.
Well,
thank you very much.
I tried.
Here's the bottle. If you want to check it out. So it's Dolan Blanc vermouth. It's French vermouth. You can get it at a couple of shops in town. I know the White Horse carries it because I picked it up on my way here because I was out.
Well,
Zach, thank you so much for your wisdom.
Well, honestly, I thought all vermouth was red. So I'm learning something new.
You've been making your martinis wrong, sir.
Oh, okay. I have been doing that.
All right. And Chris's life has now changed for the better.
So this drink is incredible.
It is incredible.
I'm going to take another sip.
It's fantastic. So Derek, we've almost made it through a full episode with you. We are incredibly happy that you are here. We do want to talk about one more part of your business that you have not even brought up yet. And I'm going to let Chris lead off on this because I've talked way too much this episode.
Well, David, you are.
He's shaking. He's rubbing his hands together. He's so excited to talk.
David is a poli-sci major, which they all learn how to talk.
I'm qualified to do two things, and that's talk and write.
Right, but you also have a lot of experience in business, which I do not. So
thanks, Chris.
You do know the lingo. But Azalea is your business right now. When I see Azalea, I think...
And it's not your business that you own it, but you do operate it, right?
You operate it. So when I think Azalea, I think of the flower at the Augusta National.
Of course.
Which is a perfect name for what is this company? Tell me a little bit
Talk to us about Azaleas.
Azalea?
The business.
Azalea, singular.
And talk to us about the flower.
Azalea is a holding company. We have, different types of businesses, and we might get into other lines of business. We don't know. But one thing we decided to get into was the outdoor advertising business, billboards.
Right.
And it's a great business. I was happy that the Morris family has a history in billboards, and they owned a company called Fairway Outdoor, which was one of the largest privately owned billboard companies in the country in the past. Sold that business, and then we decided last year to get back into the business. So we started a company called Azalea Outdoor Advertising. We made a couple of acquisitions and we have about 50 billboards in the area, and it's a fun business. It's a way to help other businesses promote themselves. I come from media. My background was in newspaper advertising. And so to be back in advertising in a different way is a lot of fun, because what it's all about is helping businesses get their message out.
Okay, so we have the still billboards versus do we have digital? Yeah,
we have both static and digital billboards.
Yeah.
Static billboards are great, and some companies only want static billboards. Cracker Barrel, for example, wants static billboards. They want their name and out there.
I feel like Cracker Barrel is the billboard company for static billboards, but I don't know if that's true.
They're one.
They're perfect for that.
McDonald's.
I mean, a lot of big and high-tech businesses. The biggest.
Really?
Amazon, Facebook.
That surprises me.
Yeah.
So
some of the technology companies are into billboard advertising.
Or that Cool Ray. Do you know what I'm talking about? Cool Ray. When you're going from exit 195 to downtown, you see, it's so hot in here, tell your wife or whatever. And it's Cool Ray.
Zach's raising his hand.
The woman's like sitting there like.
Yeah, the woman is like. There's a.
I'll be honest. I have no idea what they're talking about.
People that commute from Columbia on I-20 to downtown because downtown's awesome. You'll see Cool Ray. There's a female in a bikini that's laying down saying it's so hot, and then the next billboard says, "Cool Ray, you need to get a new air conditioner." It's a series. Yeah, it is cool.
The deal about billboards is if you want to get your name out there, that's what it is. It's just
got
your name, your website, or your phone number, and that's what it is. And the digital billboards are great because they rotate messages,
and that's good. That's good in intersections where there's stoplights, where people are sitting. Not good on I-20.
you are ready to join a billboard company.
Well, actually, I'm going into this. I need
There's three
to know.
questions. How many billboards do you guys operate?
We've got 55 or so billboards right now.
That's insane. And what's the geographic touch of that?
Most of them are in Augusta,
Okay.
around Augusta, both on the Carolina and on the Georgia side. And it's a small company right now, but we plan to grow it, and it's a lot of fun.
So it's
a fun business.
You've got 55 billboards. Some of them are digital, some are static. What is that, like 75, 80 companies that are working with you right now?
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah, it's a lot of companies.
That's incredible.
We have a billboard out in front of on Bobby Jones Expressway, out in front of the Walmart there on Bobby Jones.
Yep.
We have one out on Robert C. Daniel in front of Panera.
Okay.
Those are digital billboards.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you guys have those high-tech digital billboards that like track your phone and stuff like that, or can you not say?
We could say, but we haven't. We're not doing any of that tracking yet.
Thank you.
Thank you for that. Not doing that.
I said yes.
Right. Give us a heads up when you do. Okay, we are going to transition now to the final question. I think we have toyed with this a little bit long enough. So before we do this final question, we would like to thank one more time Zach at All Equal Parts. That's at an @ shift 2.
Wow.
All Equal Parts. No spaces.
But there's periods in between each word.
Maybe. On social media.
Honestly,
Check him out. He makes cocktails. He's fantastic. He's a mixologist, and he is also an engineer, which is super cool. So we are going to go back to Derek. We're going to ask the final question.
He also does do cocktail classes.
He does do cocktail classes.
I'm sorry, David.
It's okay.
I mean, he was
It's
doing
okay.
this whole thing.
We
and I
like
feel
him
like he
so
does a
much
lot.
that we're going to pause and we're going to say more things about him.
He's here making us cocktails.
He is.
These cocktails are potent.
They are clearly. So Chris, I'm gonna let you ask the last question.
Can we do it again with the 3 more cocktails? And it would be the second version of this thing would be.
Oh yeah, he's got it all.
The second version of this thing would be,
He's got it.
This is not on the.
I don't know what people would say. No, it's fine.
We're good.
So we have one last question for you, Derek. And that last question is a little bit different from the average last question that we ask, but we think it's quite fitting with our name and with how you seem to be out here combating negative stereotypes everywhere. So if somebody walks up to you and starts dissing Augusta, the same way that I dissed Anderson earlier in this episode, what is it that you would say to that person? What do you say to someone that disses Augusta?
Well, first, and I've thought about this. I've heard your previous interviews. And
Thank you.
Thank you. Yep.
And thought about it. For one, I guess it would depend on the person I'm talking to, because if it's a certain relative of mine, I might just say, change the subject and go get him another beer and just
Right.
Okay.
Or an all equal parts cocktail.
Sure.
No.
Okay.
And it's just
Not
Just
if
a
you
beer.
diss Augusta.
That's true.
yeah. So, but what I would say, I'm going to back up.
That's okay. That's okay.
I had a friend of mine come up. His wife was playing competing in a horse event in Aiken.
Yeah.
And he was in Augusta, and I took him here on a Saturday morning, and we came downtown. I wanted to show him the building here and show him some things we have going on. We went to Second
City.
We went to Second City.
Yep.
We had 2 or 3 brunch locations we went to. We went up and down. This guy's from St. Augustine, Florida, which is got a great downtown. And I was proud when we were walking down. There was so much to do. There was more to do than I realized. And I was proud of the town. And
Right.
and we both had a lot of fun. And so what I would say to somebody who's dissing Augusta was, when's the last time you've been down here? When's the last time you came downtown?
Yeah.
It's not just downtown. It's all over town. But when I think about downtown, if you haven't been down there lately, go down on a Monday in the middle of the day. Try to park. There's nowhere to park. And that's why, because buildings are filled with people.
Right.
Come down at night, there are people going up and down the streets. It's lit. There's people walking up and down the sidewalks.
It is lit.
Come down on Saturday morning, there's a farmer's market. There's stuff going on.
Yeah.
Try it again. And if you're from out of town or if you're from here, you'll be surprised what's going on in downtown Augusta.
Right.
Thank you so much.
I just like that you said it's lit.
Right. And you didn't even intend to, but I appreciate that. It's a Gen Z thing. It's lit.
It's lit.
For me, that meant lighting.
I know what it meant.
But it is lit in Augusta, Georgia.
It is lit. And so Derek, we have one last thing for you right before we go. This is not going to be a tough one. Before we go, we love to give everybody that comes on and talks to us the opportunity to shout out anyone and everyone that you would like to. And there are no standards to this. So any shout outs you have, please, the floor is yours.
Easy. I shout my wife, Tara.
Incredible.
We've been married, this will be 22 years. And our two kids, Lexi, who graduated from AU with you.
Shout out Lexi.
Yep, and she lives in Atlanta now, kicking butt.
There she is.
Recruiter. She's doing great out there. And then our son, Derek, who's going to AU. He's 20 years old.
What a good name.
I got a great family, and that's who I shout out.
What's his name?
Derek.
Well, who'd you name him after?
Another person that Derek.
Okay. I was just wondering.
Some guy.
Different spelling.
Okay.
Some athlete. I don't know. Well, Derek, thank you so much.
Thank you.
You are an athlete. You are an operator of marketing. You are an operator of real estate. You are a palindrome expert. We are honored to be here with you today. You are a fantastic drinker of bourbon and scotch.
Yep.
Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you so much, Derek. Cheers.
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 Hey, thank you all. Cool part.